Hey fellas. Well, it's taking me a bit quicker, a bit more time than I expected to do the Pokemon Home video, but definitely want to have that out for the next few days. But I will say this. Given how I already got one of the choices marked off on my Wii U wishlist support for Nintendo Switch, so I thought I'd do something similar her, her on this console for a previous portable 3DS. I mean, give you some titles, at least six of them I'd like to see import the system um, in the near future. I mean, the console's lifespan, entering steady on the market. That means so. A couple things I'll stick around as all set. I mean, the game will had to have been and released on the 3DS first, so that obviously means no ports that were previously on different consoles. Second, I know this is gonna be a hard one for me to do, but no Pokemon games. That's my for another day. Given how Mr. Dungeon DX has been relatively well received so far, in regards to Generation 4 being made for the system, I submit it's got the processing powers. The question is less if and more when in my book. So let's get this started. Starting off this list is with another title that's very with the series I think is definitely often has gotten overlooked on the 3DS. Even when it's on the eShop, I don't really see the series top as much, which is, in my eyes, actually kind of a shame given how there's a unique blend and of gameplay styles. I actually think would actually suit the Switch pretty well, and especially in its blend of things like cute animals, westerns, and even in the case of Dead Heat Breakers, the last title they released on 3DS, and some elements of the Mad Max series as well. Especially with your partner on the Auto Gyro, Rusty. Hey there, can you imagine him, this Dillo, just rolling past those trucks like it was like they're just toys? I can. And all the creative gameplay mechanics you can do with this series, and definitely a nice title to lead us off. Yeah. Well, given how the system did see a port of Luigi's Mansion and the waning years of its life, and Luigi's Mansion 3 has been highly acclaimed and very successful, I think it's only right that this second title in the series, which Mario like Hotel Mario, Mario and Mario's Missing Done Right, it's mean, to show how how this nice little blend of puzzle solving, of being more family-friendly versions of our horror, where that would definitely be perfect given how both of these ones have portable capabilities that you can take your skills with you, and the Switch also has the advantage of playing them on your monitor. Like, can you imagine this game on the Luigi's Mansion 3 engine with its dynamic lighting schemes? I certainly can. And you could even add some more puzzles and even find a way to include Gooigi as well. So it's an easy choice for me. Yeah. Sometimes you just want to pull this all your Switch out for just a little bit of time, and this collection of 300 of the best micro games in the Warrior series would be the perfect way to do that. In a sense, a lot of ways you could make use of these Switches as hardware, especially in the case of this model with the Joy Cons. You could add for in case of the twisting mini games, as well as the other ones. Some ones would be a bit tricky given how the touchscreens lay out differently than it would be on the 3DS, but overall, I think it would be a fun fit, especially wanting to include the amiibo drawing feature. Given how every amiibo but its own comes out looking kind of gangly, it's just pretty hilarious. I thought, so want to make an entirely new WarioWare game with the system? That's alright with me as well. So let's keep this ball rolling. I mean, with Metroid Prime 4 still maturing in development, with Namco Bandai being left behind to go back to square one, and with Retro Studios, I more than welcome more Metroid for the Switch. It helps that this is already a remake of Metroid 2 Return of Samus. Supposed to Samus Returns, which is already one of my favorite Game Boy games ever, and one of my favorite entries in the Metroid series. So, I could definitely think it would be an ideal blend of atmosphere and exploration. I mean, and with the Switch, and again, even with the amiibo, how offer me a sticking point as well as the unpleasantness of hurting AM2R. Her, I just hope that if I do decide to do that again, that'll be easier to find this time. Since it's like I think even the Switch version of Captain Toad still managed to include that, and also, but it's still a game which, as well like many other Metroid titles, I think will be well suited to who it. Can you imagine and what the world of Zebus will look like with this kind of graphical power behind it? I certainly could. And also, the top two are definitely ones I have immense enjoyment of. So there's that. Okay, ever since I first got this, it's become. Ever since I first played it, it's become one of my favorite 3DS games ever. It's a fun revival of a Nintendo classic, which came out just in time with the 25th anniversary of the series when it was released in 2012, and we're approaching the 35th anniversary, and also the 10-year anniversary of this game in 2022. So I think now would be a good time to maybe re-examine this, like how, like, it's kind of tough if you're right-handed, unless you're right-handed like I am, given how the stylus was acting as a second analog stick on the Switch. But given how the Switch actually does, how dual analog control scheme, I think it would be an ideal blend of both challenge and fun, much like the original game was. Like how it had been more than 20 years by that point since the release of Myths and Monsters on Game Boy, and there was definitely high expectations for what would happen, and boy, it did not disappoint. I think even the voice acting could also be a really given nice treatment for new audio setups, given how I also really liked all the dialogues of Pitts, Palutena, as well as, especially in the case of Riddle, they're pretty hilarious. And also how I also like think especially if you got Fred Taskor back to do Madness, I'd be very happy with that. And but given how much I love this game, what could my number one pick be? Well, I did tell you earlier the clue was in the thumbnail, so here we go. Here is my number one pick for a potential 3DS port to the Switch. That Zelda Link Between Worlds. It is easily one of my favorite entries in the Zelda series, and by far my favorite 3DS game of all time. And a lot of people you would think I would be including like Sun and Moon, X and Y in that spot, and while both those games definitely would fit that bill, like many others, this tops the list because not only Sentencing Visual Universe as Link to the Past, another of my favorite Zelda entries of all time, and it's Super NES game of all time, but it is truly an experience which I believe he needs to be he's shown even more. Since it already made its mark on the 3DS, I'm thinking the Switch could definitely take that to a whole new level. Like how with the Link's Awakening remake, it showed how you could easily recapture the magic of what made the original title great, and also completely revamp for new generation who may not even have played the original game. And while Link Between Worlds may be a newer experience, it still is one that I think deserves to be recognized. in that same vein, since it's definitely the ideal blend of old Zelda and new Zelda in terms of gameplay, visuals, and design. So it would be the ideal blend. And for the Switch, it has both the innovation of the latest home console as well as keeping that same mastery of the portable game scene they've had ever since the Game Boy was released in 1989. Even though it had to revamp some of the home mechanics for the Switch, I definitely believe that with the right working on it, it could definitely be one of the best ports you could possibly make. It definitely should beat any other Assassin's Creed that's keeps or FIFA port that keeps getting put on there. But anyway, that's just how I feel. What 3DS games would you like to see before the Switch someday? Hey, let me know in the comments how much of you who have any in mind, and I'll get back to work on my Pokemon Home video.